Aries, there are moments when you believe you know exactly what you need, and then God goes quiet. The doors don't open, the dreams stay unfinished, and you find yourself asking why. But sometimes that silence isn't rejection, it's preparation. Preparation for a gift, not just given at the right time, but one that speaks directly to your soul. And in the next 30 days, that gift is moving toward you. Not the thing you once demanded, but the thing you truly ache for deep in your heart. So now, let me take you into that journey, starting with the first sign that your season of stillness is about to end. Aries, how long has it felt like you've been standing on a bridge, both ends swallowed in fog? You know you need to take a step, but each foot feels heavy, as if the whole universe is holding you in a place you never chose to stay. Day after day passes, you look ahead and see nothing change. The door stays shut, the wall stays high. Plans, dreams, desires crumpled like silver foil abandoned in the corner. You felt anger before. You've asked yourself, why am I stuck here? Why hasn't what I want come yet? That anger isn't loud. It drips slowly like a quiet rain in your chest, wearing you down. And then in a moment of stillness, you realize it's been a long time since you've actually felt alive. You've only been waiting for something to change. But Aries, sometimes stillness isn't punishment. It's soft soil where a seed is quietly coming to life. A young tree can't rush to break the surface before its roots grow deep enough to stand against the wind. Neither can you. In this slowing down, things are taking shape, things you can't yet see. Think back to standing on the shore on a day without waves. The water's so still, you can see your own reflection. That calm isn't meaningless. It's the ocean gathering itself before the waves return. The universe is doing the same for you. Bit by bit, it's gathering strength, opportunities, and even the pieces you thought didn't fit, until the time comes when they all join together into something greater. These days may feel too quiet, but that quiet is loaded with potential. It's the deep breath before you leap into the dance, the faint glow before the sunrise breaks, and when that light spills in, you'll understand. Every moment of waiting was necessary. You might not realize it, but even now, in this season of stillness, something inside you is healing. Wounds that once shaped your choices are being soothed. Your heart is learning to trust again. You're learning to let go of control and allow yourself to be guided. One day you'll look back at this stretch of road and think, thank God I was there. Thank God it didn't happen sooner, because I would have missed something far greater. You'll feel grateful for the pause. Grateful it taught you patience, taught you to listen, taught you to see your own worth. When that awareness touches you, the world around you shifts too. The sky looks a deeper blue. The sunlight feels warmer. Conversations you once thought were ordinary become moments you want to keep forever. And deep within, a flame begins to rise. Not loud, not rushed, but steady enough for you to know a new chapter is about to begin. And Aries, sometimes a new chapter doesn't open with the sound of drums or a door swinging wide. It begins with a single ray of light slipping through a crack, touching the place you thought was forgotten. When that light reaches you, you'll understand. The waiting was never wasted. It was simply leading you closer to a treasure you never imagined was already on its way. Aries, sometimes the greatest things don't enter your life with a knock at the door, but with a quiet breeze, gently moving the curtain you thought had been closed for good. And then, in a moment you never expected, it's there silent, yet shining like a hidden gem beneath the sand. In the next 30 days, the stillness you once doubted, even resented, will open into a gift. Not the thing you fought for, but something you never even imagined could come. It might be an opportunity, one that, if you take it, you'll watch the door in front of you open, little by little. It could be a material gift, yet carrying more than monetary value, holding the weight of recognition, of affection, of someone's faith in you. Or it could be a moment of awakening, when an idea, a sentence, or an unexpected encounter touches the deepest part of you, and you know you've just received something more precious than gold clarity. This treasure may appear in the form of a person, someone who steps into your life as if they've known the way all along. They bring light, gentleness, and stories in which you see yourself. Or the treasure could be you, a version of yourself you lost somewhere in the weight of life, now returned whole, stronger, freer. The miracle, Aries, is that you'll recognize at the moment your heart suddenly feels warm again. Gratitude will rise inside you like a spring breaking free. All the disappointments, all the whys, you once held onto will seem small because you'll understand. If your journey hadn't led you through this very stretch of road, you never would have met this gift. Picture yourself walking a forest path at sunrise. The air is cold and thin, like a scarf draped across your shoulders. Light spills through the gaps in the leaves, painting 1,000 golden patches on the ground. You keep walking, not knowing what's ahead, only hearing the crisp sound of dry leaves breaking under your feet. Then suddenly, the trees open, and there before you is a lake so clear it reflects the whole sky. You stand there speechless, because its beauty is far beyond anything you had imagined. The unexpected treasure in these next 30 days will be just like that. It will stop you in your tracks and make you want to breathe it in deeply, to hold the moment in your memory. And what's even more remarkable is that this treasure won't just touch one part of your life. It will ripple outward like waves across water, touching your faith, your love, your work, even the way you see yourself. One small change in your heart can shift the entire current of your life. You'll start to see opportunity where you once saw only dead ends. You'll be ready to forgive not because someone deserves it, but because you deserve the freedom it brings. And when you allow this gift to open the doors of your soul, you'll realize something profound. That what we need most isn't to rush to the finish line, but to learn to welcome what comes in its right time. Because when the moment is right, a gift is not only given, it is understood, cherished, and lived fully. In that moment, you'll stop searching for answers outside yourself. Instead, you'll begin to feel them, in every heartbeat, every breath. Every morning when you open your eyes and know you're ready to move forward. And then, like sunlight breaking through the clouds after a long storm, a new ray of light will lead you deeper still, into a place where even your wildest dreams have yet to reach. Aries, there are moments in life when you know for certain you've just stepped through another doorway, even if the road ahead is still wrapped in fog. Not because everything is suddenly clear, but because your heart has changed its rhythm. When that treasure touches you, you'll find yourself standing at a new beginning. Not the beginning of someone starting with nothing, but the beginning of someone who has weathered enough storms to cherish every ray of sunlight. Each step now feels lighter, no longer weighed down by worry, but lifted by gratitude. You start seeing the world with eyes washed clean by tears, and dried by hands that once trembled, yet still held on to hope. Your heart, once tired from the waiting, now feels like a garden after the season's first rain. Every leaf, every flower, every patch of earth alive with new energy. You've learned to value what arrives at the right time, not so early that it startles you, not so late that it makes you give up. And then something strange happens. Old scars stop being reminders of pain and become a map that leads you forward. You begin to understand why you had to take certain turns, why you had to pause, why you met those dead ends. All of it only to bring you here to this moment. When your heart is open enough to receive, your hands strong enough to hold, and your mind clear enough to never lose what matters most. This new journey won't always be easy, but you are no longer the same. You're not the one who rushes ahead, chasing answers in every hurried breath. Now, you move slower not out of fear, but because you want to feel every vibration of the earth beneath your feet. You want to see how the light slips between the leaves, how even the tiniest speck of dust glimmers in the morning sun. You're no longer searching for happiness as some distant destination. You're starting to see it's been walking with you all along. And when you live fully in each moment, the universe will bring you more. New connections that warm you. Opportunities that make you believe you can dream again. Experiences that help you grow day by day. Gratitude slowly becomes the foundation of everything you do. It's not just in the words "thank you." It's in how you see people, how you listen, how you give. And that gratitude will open doors you never noticed, leading you toward turns your heart feels called to take. You'll come to realize something on this journey. When your heart is healed, you no longer fear loss, because you know every loss is just preparation for something truer, brighter, more enduring. And that understanding will give you the calm to keep walking, even when you can't yet see the path ahead. And then, on some quiet morning, when you think you're simply following the same familiar steps, a sign will appear soft as a passing breeze, yet strong enough to stir a corner of your soul. A sign that will tell you what you're moving toward is deeper and wider than anything you've ever imagined. Aries, Some beginnings don't arrive with fireworks in the sky or with music loud enough to shake the walls. They arrive quietly, like spring opening its eyes after a long sleep, or like that moment you realize a new day has begun, simply because the first ray of light slipped through your window. When that treasure appears, you'll feel something different, not an obvious change you can see right away, but a new breeze touching you deep inside, making your heart stir just enough for you to know you're standing at the threshold of a new journey. And this journey doesn't start from zero. It begins with everything you've been through. The losses, the long waits, the moments you almost let go. All of it has become fuel, strength, for the road ahead. You realize you're no longer the person you once were, the one who rushed, desperate for everything to happen right now. Now you savor each step. You notice the small things along the way. You even smile at the quiet moments in between. Your heart, once worn out from all the waiting, now feels like a garden after a soft, cleansing rain. The leaves seem greener, the flowers brighter, and the scent of damp earth mixing with the warmth of the morning sun feels both familiar and brand new. The delays of the past no longer feel like scars on your mind, but reminders that the most precious things take time to ripen. On this new road, you'll realize that what matters isn't only the destination, but who you are becoming along the way. You'll notice how you open your heart to others, how you listen not just with your ears, but with your soul. Every meeting takes on new meaning. Every word, every glance becomes a small piece, quietly shaping the bigger picture of your life. And gratitude, that feeling rising inside you right now, will be the lantern that lights your path. Grateful for the waiting, grateful for the prayers that went unanswered, grateful that you didn't give up even when it felt like there was nothing left to hold on to. From that gratitude, you'll feel a gentle but unshakable strength, enough to carry you through the challenges ahead. The miracle is, once your heart has healed, you stop fearing change, because you know every ending is just the opening to something greater. You'll take the curves in the road not with worry but with curiosity and a willingness to receive whatever comes. And then on this new journey, maybe on a morning that feels completely ordinary, you'll come across something small, a look, a sentence, a moment that makes you pause. And in that pause, you'll hear your heartbeat shift, as if a whisper from somewhere far away is calling you forward. And when you answer that call, everything around you will start to change, gently yet surely, leading you deeper into the light that's been waiting for you all along. Aries. There are lessons that only appear when you become still enough to hear them, not the kind of stillness in the air around you, but the stillness inside your mind, where the noise of expectations, pressure, and fear is finally set down. And in that space, you begin to realize slowing down isn't a loss, it's an invitation to look closer, deeper, further into your own life. Enlightenment rarely arrives on a bright sunny day, and it doesn't always come with cheers or celebration. It often slips in through a small crack, in a passing comment from a stranger, in the eyes of someone you cross paths with, or in that moment you unexpectedly stop in the rush of the day just to watch a single leaf fall. And suddenly, you understand something you've overlooked so many times before. You begin to see the meaning in the waiting. You understand that if everything had happened the moment you wanted it, you wouldn't have been ready enough to hold onto it. The slowing down was never empty space. It was the time the universe needed to prepare for you, and the time you needed to prepare for yourself, like a seed that must rest quietly in the dark soil, gathering its strength bit by bit, before breaking through the ground to reach for the light. In that process, your soul begins to open. You no longer see life through the narrow lens of only results. You start noticing the process itself, where small things create the greatest change. A word of encouragement, an act of kindness, an unexpected opportunity. Suddenly, each one feels different, richer, fuller. And then you realize something important. The outer world is only a reflection of the world within you. When you are at peace, everything around you softens. When your heart is open, the right people and the right opportunities will find their way to you. When you trust, the path ahead will appear, even if only one short stretch at a time. This awakening doesn't turn you into a different person overnight. It changes the way you walk every single day. You no longer rush forward as if trying to escape the present moment. You begin to move with presence, eyes open wide to see the beauty. a heart open wide to feel it, and hands open wide to receive it. You also come to understand that something better isn't always the easy or beautiful thing. Sometimes, better is the challenge that forces you to step back, rethink, and find a new direction. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, but it carries you to a place you never dared to dream of before. And when you stand in that higher place, looking back on the road you've traveled, you'll see that every delay, every moment you thought was a failure, was simply a necessary turn to bring you here. You'll no longer resent life for what didn't come sooner, but be grateful it came exactly when it was meant to. And then, in a quiet afternoon or a clear, fresh morning, you'll notice a subtle sign, a light touch of the wind, a flicker of brightness that catches your eye, or a passing thought that makes you smile. In that moment, you'll know you're ready to open the next door, where another gift is already waiting. Aries. Some joys don't explode the moment they arrive. They seep in slowly into every vein, every breath, like a soft piece of music you stumble upon on a quiet afternoon. When it comes, you don't just smile. You feel your whole being loosen, grow lighter, brighter. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, the Star, Justice. Each one like a perfect puzzle piece, coming together to form the picture you've been waiting for so long. It's not just about joy. It's about balance, a justice delivered by an unseen yet deeply loving hand of the universe. You once thought fairness meant things going exactly your way. But over time, you've learned true fairness sometimes means unanswered prayers, because if they had been granted, they might have led you off course, costing you something far more precious. And now, looking back, you feel nothing but gratitude for every time life said, "Not yet." This joy isn't simply about getting what you wanted. It's about knowing you've become the kind of person worthy of it. It didn't fall from the sky like some random gift. It's the natural result of every step you've taken, every choice you've been brave enough to make, every tear you've wiped away. You feel the happiness not just at the destination, but in the entire road that brought you here. Every failure now a stone paving the way, every season of waiting a time of planting, so that today you could gather the sweetest fruit. And divine justice doesn't come with drums or proclamations. It comes in the calm of your mind, in the sense of safety you find standing in the middle of a vast world. It's the moment you realize nothing can take away what is meant to be yours, and what doesn't stay was never truly meant for you. Perhaps the most beautiful moment is when you understand. You don't need to compare. You don't need to compete. You simply live in truth, keep walking forward, and trust that the universe is arranging things more perfectly than you can imagine. And in that moment, you see that the most lasting joy comes from within, from peace, from gratitude, from an unshakable belief that everything has its reason. Now, you no longer search for happiness as if it's a distant place. You carry it with you as part of who you are. You start giving more not to get something back, but because you know love given out always finds its way back, in the most extraordinary ways. And then, as the light of fairness and joy spreads within you, something else begins to grow. Like a seed finding rich soil, it rises, it reaches upward, and it opens a new door, a door to deeper connections and richer emotions, already waiting to step into your life. Aries. There are connections that arrive when you're not prepared for them. They slip into your life like a strange, delicate scent, soft enough to barely notice, yet strong enough to make you stop, turn around, and wonder, what have I been missing all this time? Sometimes it's a new face, someone who feels as if you've known them in another lifetime. They carry an energy that is both calm and powerful, opening your heart without asking for a reason. With them, you are simply yourself, no striving to prove your worth, no hiding to be accepted. Other times, it's someone from your past, a person you thought every chance of meeting again had long been closed. But this time they return different, softer, wiser, and maybe so are you. What once pulled you apart now makes space for understanding, for a quiet appreciation of what has been. The miracle is, whether new or familiar, this connection brings you more than you ever expected. Not just romance or warm hands holding yours, but safety. The feeling of being seen, heard, understood without needing to explain yourself too much. And it's that feeling that is the most precious gift. You begin to realize love isn't only promises or passionate moments. True love is when someone is willing to sit beside you in your darkest days and still see you as beautiful, even when you feel like you're falling apart. It's when two people can sit in silence, and in that silence, their hearts are still speaking. For some Aries, this relationship will become the force that helps heal old wounds. They won't do it for you, but they'll stand beside you, offering the faith that you deserve a love that never makes you feel small. From that safe place, you'll find the strength to forgive not just them but yourself. You'll notice conversations growing deeper, touches holding more meaning, and ordinary moments becoming the very ones you want to keep forever. Because when true love is present, it makes everything around you more beautiful. The light feels softer, the laughter rings louder, and even the challenges feel less heavy. And then there will come a moment when you realize this love didn't come to fill a void, but to open a new space in your soul, a space where you dare to dream more, live more fully, and love without the fear of losing. And from that space, something else will begin to take shape, like a door opening, letting the light pour in, only to reveal a path leading toward things you've never explored before. Aries, have you ever seen the eyes of a child when they long for a cheap little toy? One you know will break in just a few days. They look at it like it's the whole world, begging, pleading, unable to understand why you shake your head. And then, when they walk away in disappointment, you quietly hide a better gift in a safe place, waiting for the right moment to give it to them. The universe treats you the same way. There are things you once thought were everything: an opportunity, a love, a dream. You poured all your trust into it, all your hope, even sleepless nights just wishing it would come true, but nothing happened. The door stayed shut, and you stood outside feeling abandoned. What you couldn't see, Aries, was that behind the wall of waiting, another gift was being prepared. Not the one you thought you wanted, but the one you truly needed, something that could nourish your soul for the long run, make you stronger, more whole, and happy in a way that lasts. Every time the universe says no, it isn't rejection, it's a whisper. You haven't seen it all yet, wait a little longer. And when you're patient enough to walk through that quiet space, you begin to understand that the delay was a kind of protection. The universe knows what you need before you do, because maybe if you had gotten what you wanted back then, you might have lost something even more important: your health, your time, your peace, or maybe yourself. But when the gift comes at the right time, you're not only ready to receive it, you're wise enough to keep it and to treasure it. Think back to all the disappointments of your past. In those moments you felt defeated. But now, looking back, can you see? Those very no's led you to a different road, one where you met the people, the experiences, the opportunities you never would have dared to dream of before. The universe moves to its own rhythm, slow, steady, and full of meaning. It doesn't rush to match your urgency, because it knows the best things always take time. And every time you feel like giving up, remember the moments when you ended up receiving far more than you once asked for, and trust that this time will be no different. Aries, you don't have to know exactly when the gift will come. You just need to hold on to the faith that it's already on its way, and that each passing day is bringing you closer. When you can welcome both the sunny days and the stormy ones, you'll see that every moment is still a step forward. And then one day, just like a child opening the gift their parents had kept hidden, you'll stand there surprised, moved, and know, without a doubt, this is what I've been waiting for. And that moment will open a brand new journey where you begin to see the world with new eyes, a new heart, and an entirely new way to love.